What's up, everybody? It is me, KiNGAlpha. Hope everybody's doing great. So, bringing you something of a twist, and I figured I've been having a lot of fun on stream playing Hell Let Loose, so why not bring some content to YouTube, if anything, and more or less a guide. So, obviously, Hell Let Loose just released for Xbox and PS5, the next gen, the next gen consoles and everything. So, I've been testing and moving around with the settings, and I honestly think I've found some of the best settings that you can use on the console in terms of like your aiming. I know a lot of people either struggle with their aiming, or they're trying to find the right balance in between the dead zone and ADS speed, because the movement system in Hell Let Loose is definitely different. And then especially if you compare Hell Let Loose on PC compared to console, there's obvious things that need to be fixed, because obviously on console we have aim assist and on PC we really don't. So let us work on these settings here. So I'm going to show you guys all of the settings I have right now. So hopefully this will actually help you guys out, and I'll talk a little bit about why I do certain things for certain settings. So currently I have show no hints. I know sometimes the settings also bug out and they actually make it where it resets. So just try and make sure that you remember what the settings are, or just come back to the video, okay? So I put HUD Display always on, unless you want really that realism in terms of Hell Let Loose. Like, it just takes off the HUD in like 30 seconds if you have it where it's here. Personally, I like the HUD on so that I could see how much ammo I have. If my squad mates are dying or something like that, I really like to have the HUD on. It's not too big either, but it also lets me know exactly where I need to go. It's one of the big things that I think a lot of people are struggling with, because a lot of people don't understand, like, oh, I need to go this way or this way, because their HUD isn't on. So yeah, all the other settings I would currently leave these just the same. Honestly, there wasn't really much to change in terms of that, so yeah, I wouldn't really mess with anything else in here. The controls is where it comes into the comes big into the play. So lean toggles. So this basically, what this means is that when you're lean toggling, so you can lean in this game, and if you wanted to lean, you would have to basically hold L2 and then hold your right stick, but once you let go of your right stick, you won't be leaning right anymore, so you automatically stop leaning right. And I think one of the issues was that there was a lot of times I had to press so many buttons to aim down sight, lean, shoot, hold my breath all at the same time, that it was actually getting very annoying. So what I did was I put lean toggle on. Now what this does is that when you hold L2 and then you either hit your right or left stick, it actually makes you aim to the right or aim to the left, leaning, but it just stays there. You don't have to press it again. So it's actually a really good way to avoid having to hold down on your analog stick, so that you don't actually need to, keep toggling back and forth and keep, just holding down the button while you're trying to hold your breath and shoot at the same time. It's very convenient for me, and this has actually helped me out loads in terms of getting better at fighting and stuff. Honestly, I put the vibration on. I left the vibration on. I did not do aim down sight toggle. I don't want to have to press L2 and then, press L2 again just to freaking... I mean, obviously it's different for Xbox, but I know the button's different. But I personally just don't like the ADS toggle. I'd rather just hold down the trigger and then just toggle the lean, if anything. Everything else I basically left the same. Now, controller sensitivity I put up to 80, because honestly, I feel like it moves a bit it moves fast enough for me that I don't feel like when I'm trying to turn, in case I hear a gunshot or something, when I try and turn, it doesn't take forever to turn. I think that was one thing that was pissing me off, is that in the beginning settings, I think they put it at like 40% or 30% or whatever. And when someone's shooting or something and you're trying to turn, it just feels like you're turning so slow, and it's just like ridiculous. Same with the controller ADS. I found 40% to be one of the best, because when you're aiming down sight, obviously you don't want to be going back and forth like really fast, because in Hell Let Loose the gameplay is much different. People are moving slow, and honestly you shouldn't be putting it all the way to like freaking 80 or 90, because you're not going to be able to control your aim. So I typically found 40 was the best for me. Map cursor sensitivity, I put it at 50. You can put it a bit higher if you're, you know, on the map and you want to move your cursor a bit faster. Movement dead zone and look dead zone, I put at 40%. I think it was the best for me. I tried any lower, any higher, and it just, you know, sometimes it messed up my aim a little bit. So definitely would leave these two as 40%. But yeah, definitely controller sensitivity, you need to put that up because of the fact that your character does move really, really slow. ADS is 40%, and that's about it. Brightness, I put at 100%. I left it there. Motion blur, you need to take off motion blur. It is so annoying when you're running and you're just getting motion blur and stuff. However, this does not stop the fact that if you're getting suppressed, there is a blur and everything because of the fact that you're getting suppressed. So that's just the realisticality of the game. So yeah, controller, I left this basically all the same. Layout A, same with all of the other settings. I didn't really mess with any of the other settings just because of the fact that it's just, you know, it's just generic. It's basically simple. Last but not least, I put audio. So voice volume I put up to 60%. Obviously, depending on your headset or anything, you can put this higher. This is based off of the players in the game that, you know, you want to hear their voice. Put my voice at 50%, but microphone volume as well, because you don't want to blow people's ears out either. I always seem to change the music volume, and it always gets changed back up to that percentage. But basically, this is about it for everything. Now, one thing I will say this, right? Okay, I'm just gonna mess with this stuff. One thing I'm gonna say about this, guys, is that sometimes this voice volume, you're gonna need to turn it up, because sometimes you can't hear like your squad mates or your squad leaders because of the fact that you have massive explosions in the background, and it just gets to the point where you're like, wait, what did you say? Wait, say that again. I couldn't hear you. I have a fucking tank shooting over the back of my head. Da, 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 da. Things like that. So definitely make sure you play around with these settings in game as well, just to make sure that you you know, you mess around with it and everything. But that's basically it, guys. All of this type of stuff you definitely want to leave. I didn't want to really mess with any of this either because of the fact that, like, it's overall the, like, nameplate and the HUD and everything is pretty good so far. So that's basically it, guys. That's the settings. I also did take off crossplay for console because of the fact that it felt very choppy. So in case you guys are feeling like every game you're playing is super choppy or anything, and you know it's a mix of Xbox and PlayStation players or something, just toggle it off and just play with no crossplay, because I'm telling you, there is definitely a less choppy when you're playing with crossplay. And usually on Xbox or PS5, there's usually enough players to actually play games and everything. So yeah, basically, guys, that's it for the settings. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see if I come out with more Hell Let Loose videos, because I'm definitely enjoying this game. Peace, guys. Deuces.